Hello and welcome. This is Anjolie with Cosmic Vibes Tarot. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if my readings happen to resonate with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and tap the notification bell for future uploads. This is a great way to show your love and support for my channel. If you are already a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. Please note that all readings are timeless and are for the Sun, the Moon, Rising, Jupiter, Venus, and cross watchers. Videos that are not for the individual signs are for the general collective, and when you see this video, it is the right time. Unless I have otherwise stated that a video is for a specific time frame. I want to thank you again for watching and brightest blessings. Okay, so we have a question about moving, and this person wants to know, should they stay or should they go? Okay, so we're going to do a two-part spread. And what I'm going to do is the first question I'm going to ask, what will happen if the person stays in their current living situation, at their current residence? So let's find out. And this is for whomever is watching. If you are looking to move, you're not happy in your current situation, this is for you. Or if you know someone who is struggling with moving or staying, share this video with them also. Okay, so row one, for the general collective, for those who are thinking about moving out of their current residence, what will happen if they decide to move to a new residence? One card for, we're going to do three cards. There's one. Ooh. Okay. What will happen for the general collective who are deciding to move or not, if they decide to move? Those wishing to move, what will happen? What's the general outlook if they do choose to move? One more card, please. Yay. One card. Excuse me. Getting talkative. One more card for what is the outcome for those who are unhappy at their place of residence. There we have it. Okay. All right, we're going to work on this one first. Let's put those right there. All right, so far, what is happening is something is gnawing away at you in your current living situation. It's amazing that this card shows up in the center because it's all about where we're living right now. Okay, and there's talk about the living situation, which is worrying you and causing anxiety. Okay, so what I want to do is pull a few cards from my Rider-Waite deck, and let's get some clarity as to what is going to happen if you continue to stay. And already it looks like it's creating some anxiety. It's taking away your power. Okay, it's taking away your stability. House represents a stable and secure place. And the birds represent talking and expression. And so it could be that you're not able to express yourself where you are right now, and that demeans your very being at the core. So let's find out a little more clarity on this situation, shall we? Like I said, my cards are very talkative today. Okay, Why is the mice here? Why is the mice here for those who wish to move? And remember, this is for if you wish to, if you stay at your current place of residence. Why is the mice here for the outcome of staying at the current place of residence? All right, there we go, the Emperor. Okay, why is the house here? Why is the house here for this reading? Why is the house here? Oh, there we go. Okay, and why is the birds here? There we go. Oh, okay. All right, this is amazing. Okay, so now we have the Emperor, and it feels like someone is being a dictator to you at your place of residence, okay? That's never good. I mean, when we pay rent, I have seen this firsthand, so I think I can understand this part. But usually when we're paying rent somewhere, we like to be able to, do our own thing. Now, it's different when you're paying rent for your own place or when you're renting a room or when you own your own house. When you rent a room, you kind of have to follow the rules of the house. When you rent an apartment or a house, you have to follow the rules of the landlord. And when you own your own house, you have to follow the rules of the city or the state. So there are always rules. There is always some form of dictatorship going on whenever we rent. However, this form of dictatorship is causing you a lot of stress and worry, okay? And it's taking away a lot from your mental stability as well. Okay, so now we have in the house of the house, we have the Five of Pentacles. It is also messing with your money. Okay, it's probably taking a big chunk out of your pocket, and you're actually spending more than you want to living here. Okay, so staying here might be a little bit more costly. It will provide you stability, but everything comes with a cost these days. All right. Okay, so now we have the birds, and what we got with that was the Seven of Swords. If you stay, you're giving away your power if you stay, basically. The Seven of Swords represents taking your power back, kind of. It's kind of like when the seven is upright, it's basically, it means that you're leaving an unhealthy relationship. Because you see, he's walking away. There's something that happened here that he wants to leave behind him. And so he's picking everything up. He's picking up his swords. And swords represent your words and your thoughts. So he's taking his power back and regaining control of the situation. But this came up reversed. So by staying here basically means that you're not in control and you're not being what's the word I want? Proactive about making things better for yourself. So on that note, let's get, for this particular part of the reading, I want to pull a card for a little bit of extra wisdom, and I'm going to go with the wisdom of Avalon. We're going to use this deck to get an overall picture of the outcome of staying in your current place of residence. We have the Grail Knight, romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. Okay, so I'm going to lay that there, and let's find out what that has to say in the book. Romance and the seeking of that which is sacred, such are the missions of the Grail Knight. He represents the coming together of all elements to perfect or to form perfect life through a union of heaven and earth, or he signifies a romantic union of lover with lover. In the beginning of all relationships, there's a time when everything is perfect, and that may be what it feels like to you living in your current situation. When you first moved there, it was a perfect opportunity. You had a roof over your head, you had things going your way, everything looked great from the beginning. And my apologies that my computer keeps going off over here. I could turn it off. Well, I'll turn off Facebook. That's what's doing it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, in the beginning of all relationships, there is a time when everything is perfect. One seeks out the discovery of love in the treasures of the other, all the while holding up a mirror in which beauty and perfection are reflected. There is both truth and illusion. And that is really significant with the Seven of Swords because, you know, this is also a card of deception in other terms. In this reading, I'm not using it in that manner because that's not what we asked about. When the Grail Knight appears, he lets you know that your own beauty, perfection, and innermost desires may be reflected in the mirror that is held up by the love of another. Indeed, love is in the air. Perhaps it's also time for you to fall in love with yourself. If you don't, you run the risk of attracting the same affirmation from the outside world. Love attracts love. Be love, and you shall find love. A gentle warning. Light cannot exist without shadow, so don't be fooled by the illusion of perfection. Be willing to see the shadow and ask for honesty. Then you can never be disappointed. This is a fortunate omen. And I would like to further add to what that said. I'm going to use an experience that I went through in my own home. Okay. I have lived in my house for 9 years. 9 long years. And normally I would have been ready to move. And there have been many times that I really wanted to move, but I did not. And it became very clear to me that if I moved without thinking it through, I was going to wind up in a very similar situation to the one I was here. There was a experience with mold and too many cats and a lot of dust and fur, and the furnace in the filter hadn't been changed for 3 years due to lack of knowledge for one and not knowing any better. So through the law of attraction and through what I study as a light worker, as a tarot card reader, as an intuitive, and all the other things that I research, I have learned that we attract what we are. We attract what we feel. And if I'm feeling very bad about my own house and my own living space, then I'm putting out to the universe that I want to attract more of that. Okay? So I made a choice. I made a decision to turn my house into some place I would love. And look how pretty this house is. I would love a house like that. That's so cute. You know, it's beautifully designed. It's earthy. It's surrounded by nature, and it's just beauty in its purest, rawest form. And so I decided to create that beauty in my own house. And in order for me to manifest a better place to live, I must first make the place I'm living better. Okay, so this is my advice to those of you who are wanting to move. If you want something better, you have to make what you're going through better. It starts with you. Okay, so let's pull these cards up and let's move to what happens if you move from your current place of residence. Okay, what will happen if the general collective seeking new residence goes ahead and moves? Wow. Okay, how uncanny is that? Oh, it could go good though. Let's get more specific if they decide to move in the very near future. So, what is the outcome if those wanting to move and change resident do so in the very near future? Ooh. Oh, now. This looks like it's going to be pretty good. Okay. Looks good on the surface, but let's go through this. We have the mice, we have the heart, and we have the bear. First of all, if you decide to move, there could be some emotional stress. There is the stress of moving, packing, and putting your notice in and finding a place, especially if you're in the northern part of the world where it's cold. This could get real stressful. Trust me, I just went through this with some people that I was helping get a house rented, and I watched what they went through to get moved into this house. They had problems with the furnace. It went out on them, so they were without heat. Then there was water leakage, and all kinds of things happen. And in the wintertime and around the holidays especially, is never a good time to move because people are more focused on other things, and it's just a busy, busy, busy time. So if you're planning to move this month, I'm going to tell you it would not be a good idea, because not only will it cause you emotional stress, it will also cause you financial loss. It will cost you more than it's costing you to stay where you are right now. Like I said, due to the holidays. The best time to move would probably be closer to the spring, if you can tough it out. Now, not saying if things are at a place where they're absolutely so bad that you can't stay there because it's interrupting your health and your life, then by all means, you know, take your chances, find someplace else to go, have a backup plan. But with this right here, I'm going to tell you, it's a good idea to stay put right now and count your blessings and start making this place of residence become what you want it to be. Understand that rules are in place for a reason. Understand that when you rent from someone else, you're paying them for a service. They're providing you with a house. And here's a good idea. Put yourself in the position of the renter. Okay? Say that you own the house and you're renting to someone. And there are things that you prefer not to take place in your home. Okay? So if you're renting out rooms and you don't want people to, say, smoke in your house, and then they do and they try to get away with it, how are you going to respond to that? I mean, because non-smokers can smell smoke, and it permeates everything that's in the house. And if you move out, the next tenant, who might not be a smoker, who could have problems with, you know, allergies to smoke, well, they're not going to be able to stay there. So that's going to decrease the property value for the landlord. Okay, so there are things that you don't want people to do, and if they continue to do what you don't want them to do, what are you going to do? How are you going to feel? Are you going to allow them to stay, or are you going to ask them to leave the premises? Think about that. How you would handle the situation if the cards were turned, if the tables were turned, and you were the one that was in charge of the house. Okay, on that note, I am going to say happy holidays, and I wish you well. Remember, make your house a home. Love where you are, and the perfect place will find you.